Welcome back. Remember, a lot of politics is also being witnessed over the Agni Veer scheme. And amid the controversy, let's tell you about the latest news coming in as per sources in defense. Telling your channel that a feedback survey will be done on the scheme in all three services. That's the Army, Navy and Air Force. Stakeholders will give feedback on the number of aspects on recruitment process in the services, in the respective services. So a feedback will be sought is what we're learning. A survey will be carried out in all the services, in the tri-services, the Army, Navy and Air Force, and all stakeholders will be consulted. They will give feedback on the number of aspects as far as the recruitment process is concerned. Let me go across to my colleague Akash Sharma joining us live with more. Akash, there's been a lot of politics that we've seen over the Agniveer scheme with several INDI constituents time and again coming out to say, and the election season as well, that we are going to withdraw the Agniveer scheme when we come to power. But we've heard of different responses from the central government so far. In the latest, we're learning of this survey as per sources. What can you tell us about how the survey will be carried out and what are we to expect next?
Right. So you see, this scheme was implemented back in year 2022, and at that time we saw a lot of controversies, first on the scheme and then on different aspects in the particular scheme. We have seen that how leaders in the opposition have categorically said that if they'll come to power, they'll roll back the scheme. But talking about the current developments, so officers in the defense ministry are telling us that all three services have been asked for a feedback survey, which is of course a routine process for any sort of recruitment. But in this feedback survey, there is a sort of questionnaire that has been prepared and that has been given to all the stakeholders, including the Agniveers, and they have been asked a number of questions. For example, a field officer under whose leadership Agniveers are serving as of now, he's being asked as to if these Agniveers are a liability or an asset. Similarly, there are a number of questions that are being asked. Remember, after 2022, we have two batches that have completed training in the Indian Army. Similarly, in Indian Air Force and Indian Navy, we have a number of batches who have completed training and have been deployed, for field units. But since, in fact, the Standing Committee on Defense in February month recommended a number of things for this particular scheme, including the benefits that are given to the family or to to the particular officer in the service or when he is killed in action. So these benefits are not similar to what is being seen in the routine officer's case or routine sepoy's case. And this was also a point that was raised by the opposition leaders. And this is the reason why in the month of February, a report was submitted and it was said that benefits should be similar, should be same for Agniveers as well. And there are a number of things. For example, permanent intake is initially 25%, but it was recommended that it should be increased to 50%. We haven't seen any sort of permanent intake until now because it was implemented in 2022. But now a feedback survey is happening in all three services, in Army, in Indian Air Force, and also in Navy. And this feedback survey will be submitted to DMA. This is what we are learning. And after that, on the basis of this survey, several sort of proposals will be made. And then these proposals will be sent to the government for further decisions. So, these services are taking steps to further improve the recruitment process. And this will somewhere be seen in the coming days when government will be, taking decisions on the basis of a proposal. We are assuming that government will be going with the kind of proposals that will be given because these proposals will be coming on the basis of the feedback that is happening. In fact, the surveys that are happening.
Akash, this also tells us that the government is open to change in the Agniveer scheme. And, if I'm not wrong, in the month of March itself, it was Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh who said that the government is actually open to the idea, open to change in Agniveer scheme if needed, which means that they're open to feedback, they're open to whatever the feedback is going to suggest. And if at all there are massive changes that need to be brought about, can certainly be expected. Is that right?
Exactly, and in fact, Raksha Mantri just few days back mentioned in one of his election rally, that this scheme is going to benefit the country. Country is going to be benefited with the kind of intake that the services will have after 4 years when these Agniveers will complete their training in the initial days and when they'll have some sort of experience in the field deployments. But, I want to remind you that in the month of January, in fact, Army chief mentioned it categorically that regular surveys are happening. In fact, the officers who are dealing with these Agniveers are being asked a number of questions as to how, what is the kind of experience that they are having with these new recruits, and also as far as permanent intake is concerned. So, what are the kind of suggestions that these officers who are dealing with these Agniveers can give? And this is possibly the reason why these feedback surveys are
Okay.
conducted. And remember,
And who better than our
these,
forces, our officers, those who are actually working, in the Indian Armed Forces to tell whether or not this scheme is working for the better for the country with a national security perspective. Many thanks, though, for joining us with the latest, Akash. We'll come back to you as and when we learn more on the same. Let's quickly shift our attention